Call this meeting. This is Policy Committee, regular meeting agenda today, Thursday, February 12th, 5:30. Like to public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within committee scope, including items on or not on an agenda.
I have no speaker cards. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the roll call right now.
Okay.
I have Director Clark,
Aye.
Director Gould,
Present.
Director Sailors is absent, and Director Wood is absent, who let me know that beforehand. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adopt consent.
I second it.
Great. Director Clark,
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, the first action item that we have is the election of officers, and we are going to postpone that until the next meeting because we don't have enough members of the committee. So we'll skip to the second item on the agenda, and that would be the board policy, meal and refreshment policy. And 2%, there she is, Ms. Maddox.
Good evening, directors, Chief House. Tonight we're here to review the board policy 01.002.02, meal and refreshment policy. This policy sets forth the standards to determine what meal and refreshment expenses may be paid with the district funds and describe related policies and procedures and payment processes and that type of thing. The purpose of the policy is to provide direction to all district employees and members and of the board, all employees and members of the board of directors on the acceptable use and expenditure of district resources on meal and refreshments purchases, except those related to travel outside Sacramento County. Specifically, this policy has edits to clarify the meal and refreshment purchases during our interview and promotional exam processes. I do want to clarify that the changes, the edits to this policy are not asking for additional accommodations. It is just to help clarify what we currently do during these processes and what we provide. Once this policy was put in place, we realized that it didn't exactly fit with our current practices that I feel are within reason and are justified. So for instance, it's for interviews and promotional exams. So interviews, I'm talking about firefighter interviews. So for instance, we'll have 3 panels running sometimes, and those panels are made up of our internal employees, captain, engineers, and firefighters. Sometimes we ask them to be here at 7 in the morning and they don't leave till 5:30 or 6 at night. We don't like them to leave at lunchtime because we need them to come back. So we kind of ask them to stay here. So we like to provide breakfast and some coffee and lunch, obviously, keep them awake, keep them focused on the task at hand. And then the other thing is the promotional exam. So engineer, captain, BC, supervising inspector, and supervising investigator is also the same thing. For instance, engineers is 2 weeks long. Captains is usually 1 week long. BC is 1 week long. And again, they're here from sometimes 6:37 in the morning till 6 at night doing the assessment. So again, we've always kind of provided coffee, bagels, or something to just kind of, get them awake, snacks throughout the day, lunch, that type of thing, drinks and refreshments. But once we put this policy in place, we realized that it was limiting our ability to provide refreshments and breakfast because the article that we changed specifically referred to lunch. So me and CFO O'Toole had many conversations over this policy and we decided together and we agreed to these edits to fit along with what we currently do. So we're not asking again for additional funds or anything like that, just still staying within reason. But making sure we're taking care of the people that are coming here to assist us with these exams. Like I said, engineer, captain, and BC, those and the other 2 exams, those are outside people coming from other agencies to sit on our panels, which in itself is a large task. It's a hard task, and a lot of agencies don't have extra people to spare. They have their own staffing issues, and we're asking people to come here for a week at a time. So when they do come here, I've had conversations with the fire chief over this. I do like to make sure that we treat them well and that when they walk away, they'll want to come back maybe again and help us the next time and not say, well, I'm not going back there. I wasn't, that was the worst experience ever. So, so that's the purpose of the policy edits tonight. So if we go to page 6, there's a few edits on page 6, under policy number 2. That's just really just some cleanup language, no changes there. The major changes to the policy are on page 7. And if you see on E, it used to say lunch for interview and promotional process. Now we just changed it back to meal and refreshments. So if you go to the previous page and look at the definition of meal and refreshments, it does say includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, and refreshments, including beverages and snacks. So we feel like that was just more uniform with what the intent was originally and not just limited to lunch. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, we're waiting for you.
Oh,
be finished.
okay. I thought you had a question. Stop me at any time.
I have a question, but I was waiting for you to then finish what you wanted to say.
Oh, no,
before
go
I-
ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Melissa, is it limiting to you when you say promotional exams or other events similar to that? And then you list out the exams that qualify? Is it just not cleaner to give you all the ability to decide? It seems to me to be too restrictive when you say this exam, this promotion, this, where you may have some other promotion inside this organization that uses some of the same needs or has some of the same needs. You're inviting someone from outside but it's not listed. And so my only concern in reading over this, because I got a lot of time warning that I need to be here, is that when we do that, we limit the flexibility that you all should have. Because I think we want to do the same thing when we have other exams. And so my only suggestion is be careful when we start really specifically in policy saying a promotional exam with, and then you list out 5 or 6 different exams. Because I mean, if we can't trust you all to decide which exam qualifies to have food brought in because it's a good thing to do to build these relationships you just described, I think we need to write it in a way where it really leaves a lot of option available to you all. And of course, if that gets out of control, we'll know it and you guys will then have to report it in some way. So that was when I read over it tonight, I thought, let's be careful. I know that's our tradition and that's good, but we may be a little bit more flexible and give you guys the authority to just, if you want to go buy freaking bagels, why do we have to worry so much about a policy? I mean, $400 million organization does.
Where's Dave at?
To be working about bagels. Anyway, that'd
Yes.
be my comment.
I
Mr.
don't-
Chair, is I think that there needs to be a little less specificity.
And I don't, with the current changes, I feel pretty comfortable that we're not as restricted as it was. The exams that I listed out verbally aren't necessarily in here. It is kind of just says interview and examination processes. So I think that would be kind of at the fire chief's discretion to say, okay, well, now we have this new type of exam. Would that fit in here?
Sure, and I think you could just make it easy to say, for example,
Yeah.
and that takes away the limitation of the language.
Okay.
That's it.
We could do that because and actually the engineer, captain, BC, supervising inspector and supervising investigator are actually in the promotional exam article in 522. So that's why I listed those, but we could use those as examples as
I've said enough.
not limited.
I hear you. I think we can make those edits and then bring it back.
And I think, and I'd make my amendment or motion or suggestion to be done in such a way where when you decide whatever language you want, it doesn't have to come back to this body because it's a simple edit and it could move forward. I'd be fine to see it move forward to the full board, you
Perfect.
know, so that you can use it as soon as you need to, because I think you've got some of these events coming up.
We do.
We do.
Thanks, Melissa.
And just lastly, on page 8, there again, that top of page 8, that's just more additional cleanup language, not really changing any substantiated. So that was all I had for that policy. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No. We have a presentation.
Before we have a motion and second, I just want to say for the record that Director Sailors is present and arrived at 5:36. Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
I'll
that We
second.
adopt this change as described and move it to the full board.
And I'll second.
Great. Director Sailors,
Aye.
Director Gould,
Aye.
Director Clark.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Maddox.
Thank
I
you.
think we,
There's one, isn't there one more? thing?
anything, you don't have anything else to
I
add?
think there's
to
one more in there.
Yes, you have a presentation.
Yes.
The-
Is that
the
not right now?
policy. Yep, it's on the.
Do you want me to just move into that?
Yeah.
Okay. So tonight I just wanted, since we're here already in February, but I just wanted to go over the year-end progress that we made with policies last year and kind of what we're looking forward to going forward. As you recall, I did this last year as well. So here we are in February again, doing it again, and that seemed like yesterday, so
Mm.
time's flying. So this year or last year in 2025, I felt like we concentrated more on quality versus quantity. We were trying to tackle the bigger policies that are more important in our minds for legal reasons, or maybe to address specific things that were going on in the district, or just the bigger policies that are a little hard to tackle. So for instance, last year in 2025, we did get 23 policies completed. 4 of those were administrative policies. Those are policies, as you recall, that just come to policy committee and don't have to go to full board. Those were the discipline policy, the policy development and implementation policy, reinstatement, rehire policy, and the Public Records Act policy. The next 4 were administration policies, which was the procurement card policy, respiratory protection program policy, the post-incident analysis policy, and the preliminary exposure policy. There are also 6 board policies that were approved by the board. Those go to policy committee first, then to the full board. That included the debt management policy, purchasing and contracting policy, and then the big 4 that all kind of fit together that we were kind of focused on over the year were the equal employment opportunity policy, non-retaliation policy, workplace violence policy, and the workplace harassment policy. Those are all very separate and distinct policies, but they do all kind of fit together in certain ways. So again, quality over quantity this year. In addition to those, we had 1 operations policy, 1 support service policy, and 7 job descriptions that were revised last year. Going forward in 2026, some of the bigger policies that we're hoping to bring to the policy committee soon are the drug and alcohol substance abuse policy and the drug alcohol testing procedures, and also the records retention policy. There's 59 other policies out there that other managers and divisions are currently working on, so I won't list all those out tonight, but we are aware that Leslie has been actively working on 59 other policies with other managers. So we're hoping to maybe have quantity and quality this year. We'll see. And then in addition to that, all the job descriptions we're trying to get through those in an effort to be prepared for the compensation study that we will have coming soon. So that was that for 26. And if there's any other direction the policy committee would like to give us, or some direction or things that you'd like to see in 2026, I'm happy to take those notes down and we'll work on it.
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Yeah.
First, congratulations to my colleagues and to you for working on all of those. Those were a big lift, and I may just suggest that we continue to do quality over quantity,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because policies are a big deal.
Yes, they are.
That's the only reason we're here.
Right.
We really don't have any other thing except a policy function. So
Yes.
I think, I love that you started with, let's do quality over quantity. I would just say, keep that as the focus, because when we don't do good policy, it creates way more work for all of us than we need.
Absolutely. And I can't take credit for all that. I do want to give credit to Leslie Miller, our HR analyst. She manages and coordinates and revises all of these policies. So any of the policies that are HR policies, she's done. So I don't want to take any credit for it. I'm up here just presenting it, but she does all the hard work. So
Well, you're a team, so everybody gets credit. Are there any other questions or comments? Yeah, Director Sailors?
So we're working on 59 so far, looking at 2026. How many policies do we have altogether?
I think we're somewhere up around 140, but I don't have the exact number. I'll have to look. I'll get back to you.
Okay, and my other question is, how many policies do we have that are out of date?
I don't have that number off the top of my head. A lot of policies may be older in date, but there's not necessarily anything out of date with them. That's, I think, why we try to tackle the ones that are
Mhm.
legally required to stay up to date. So some of them, while they may be 2 or 3 years old, they might not have any changes to them. So when I say the quality versus quantity, a lot of times we want to update those policies that are just out of date, but they don't really need any changes. But that still takes time to just kind of get it through the process, get the checkoffs from 522 or legal. And then that's the quantity part when there's no changes. So we're working the hardest to get the easy ones updated, but at the same time focusing on the harder ones that require more legal review and negotiation with 522. So,
Okay,
but I can get that number for you.
yes, I would like to sit down with you and look at those numbers.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. That's it.
Yeah, and I know that we've made an effort to update the policies that were out of date. We've been doing that this year anyhow, so yeah, please continue doing that. Mhm.
Will do.
All right, any other questions or?
Audience member. though.
Oh, yes. Director Weber.
Okay, absolutely. I know, I understand what you're saying.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh.
Bob, we
What?
couldn't really hear you. If you don't, if
Well, that was the thing, yeah.
you could just come up and share what you just said.
Need to come.
The question was, could she define the difference between exam and assessment? Because the assessment centers might dovetail into the same policy as far as the meal. And so just for her understanding, and so she doesn't have to amend or write a new policy.
Right.
Thank you.
And she just replied to that, so.
I mean, just off the top of my head, I think the difference would be, say, an exam, maybe a written exam, where it's just HR running it. We're not going to buy ourselves lunch. That's just an exam. Or we don't have proctors there helping us run that written exam, but an assessment would be more of we're having outside people come in to assess, or our own internal people through an interview process, or, like a captain or BC exam, where we're requiring them to stay here all day long, multiple days. So, but again, we don't, even if if HR is running that exam, we're not buying ourselves lunch. So just hopefully Dave heard that. We don't do that. It's just taking care of the people that are coming on their own time to help us out. So.
And if we had to, we were just talking about, the trivial about the triviality of the bagels and whatever,
Yeah.
If you need to. We want people to be, That's right. I mean,
It's very important.
yeah, we don't want to be that restrictive.
Bagel gate.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have a problem with anything like that, so. All right.
All right, that's it for me, unless you have any other questions.
Any questions or, comments?
Okay.
All right, with that, thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right. So the next meeting is March 12th. And as I mentioned earlier, action item 1, the election of officers, was postponed till the next meeting, because that way we'll have a full.
I won't be here. That'll be awesome. Elect away, baby. Elect away.
Well, you know what they say when in a
Oh,
you get.
I knew that was
You
coming.
could be.
I knew that was
you
coming.
could- You could be nominated, so, but anyhow, yes, with that, we announce the next meeting, March 12th. With that, I'd like to adjourn this meeting. This meeting is adjourned.